Shalom, giving all praise. Yahweh Shemel Shai Bashim Kwadash. Shalom to the 144,000. The hopefully elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm gonna make a quick video, and I wanna make another video after this one. But this I was just going through different videos. I had watched the video that Apostle Ramlab had put up. It was like 11-minute video, so I copied it and put it as a re-upload dealing with the MOTB. He didn't mention too much. The MOTB kind of said it briefly, but he's talking about 15-minute cities. And he was talking about whatever his title is today, Bishop Nathaniel, but he's a general. He's General Nathaniel guy. So he has two different names. But anyway, he said, I want to see the faces on these guys on what they're going to say when they actually introduce the charagma to the world, and to see how Bishop Nathaniel is going to change it up and say, "You see, you morons, we told you that we already said that," because he did that with the time of Jacob's trouble. Oh, and by the way, the time of Jacob's trouble, I may even do a video on that. My next video after this one might be Jeremiah 30. I may just try to do the whole chapter. We did it a couple of years ago on the street. I don't know, 2 years ago. But I might want to do it again, because when it speaks about Jacob's trouble, I'm gonna get back into the main subject. When it speaks about Jacob's trouble, people say, well, anytime Israel was attacked by another nation, that was Jacob's trouble. You can say it was Jacob in trouble, but Jacob's trouble is going to happen one time and one time only. And we haven't experienced it yet, even though we experienced troubles. Jacob's trouble in Jeremiah 30, verse 7 is a singular event that is getting ready to happen. And I'm gonna show you that like I said, I'm gonna cut this video short, and I'm gonna go into Jeremiah chapter 30, specifically chapter 30, verse 7. I wanted to do a breakdown in parts of Second Ezra chapter 15 and maybe Second Ezra chapter 16, because we're coming to that in a big way. Anyway, Captain Tazariak did a debate with Vocab Malone, and okay, this at this point he's talking about it. So right here, at this 18 minutes and 10 seconds in, because I was kind of jumping around, he makes a statement that Vocab, because Vocab did like a recap update on the debate. So I was watching parts and bits jumping around, and he made a statement. I guess it's inside of the first 10 minutes of the video. You got to look for it. He made a statement that Captain Tazariak said that you can be a virgin before having sex, and even after you have sex, you still could be called a virgin. And they started laughing at it. And I know exactly what was meant by that statement. The word virgin, depending on what word you use, in the case of Bathwala or Ailama or Iwalama or Ailama, so what he meant by saying you can still be a virgin even though you had a child, even though you had to act the sex as a young woman, you still could be a virgin. What he meant by that was not Bathwala. He meant Ayalama or Ailama, which means young woman of a marriageable age. And we said that in our video. You can you look at a woman, you can look at a woman and tell if she's 13, 14, 12, 10, or 25. You know, women be 30 talking about they 18. You can clearly see that they're not 18. You know, yeah, you was 18 15 years ago, whatever the case may be. So people can see and judge. You know, you talking to a woman, well, you know that that woman is underage, you know? But anyway, that's what was meant by it. He didn't specify it. I didn't go into the rest of the video. But anyway, I just want to go on. That's why it's so important to go into the root words. That's why it's so important to utilize a terminology called etymology. That's why, uh, Bishop Nathaniel goes off on a lot of scriptures. He puts a lot of good scriptures, a lot of good precepts, a lot of. They say a lot of good things, but they go left every once in a while because they refuse to go into the etymology of the words, like the grape doctrine. If you was to apply etymology on the word grape, it's grape is really not even in the scriptures. The only word closest to grape in the scriptures is ravis, and the scriptures say, "Ravis your wives." So Anyway, let me just go into this real quick. And that's and see a biblical scholar, if they write a book or they do a commentary about a particular precept in the scriptures, they have to go into the root word. They have to go into the root word. I may just show you that too. I may just show you that in the Bible Hub. So okay, let me do this. The difference between the word Batwala and Ailama or Iwalama. This is the difference. So let's go to let me just put in word virgin. If I'm spelling it right, I'm a lousy speller. Okay, I think I spelled it right. Genesis 24, verse 16. Let's see what it says. And the damsel, and we're going to look that word, and the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up. Now, you know what I want to do? Let me click on this. I already know when it said another man never touched her, I already know the word virgin is Bathwala, but I'm going to go to it anyway. Rebecca is chosen. It says, and it came to pass before he had done speaking that behold, Rebecca came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abram's brother. So, okay, in relation, okay, you got Abraham, you got Nahor, okay, you got Bethuel, who daughtered Rebecca. So let's see. Let me see. Abraham. Okay, this guy would be Abraham's nephew, and Abraham's son would get with Bethuel daughter, which is Rebecca. So that would mean Abraham's son got with his cousin. or second cousin. So they were cousins. And then we know the whole story of Rebecca having Jacob and Jacob dealing with Laban, which is also a relative. I believe they were uh, they were cousins too, as well. You know, cousins, nephews. You know what I'm saying? So they were all part of the same family of Hebrews. Okay, so so it says that she was. Where is it? Where is it? Rebecca is chosen. So it was a meeting between Abraham's servant. So it said Rebecca came out, who was born to Bethuel, the father. So it's a meeting between through Abraham's servant and Bethuel, and they're saying Rebecca is a beautiful woman. We're going to set Rebecca up. This is called a prearranged marriage with with Abraham's second son Isaac. And when they saw each other, they you know the term love at first sight. They both fell in love with each other, and they consummated the marriage, and they stayed together, and it was through the Spirit. Now, if Rebecca had a problem with it, which she wouldn't, because she was trained as a like I said in previous videos, women had rights, but they had limited rights to men. Men of that time had more rights than women. What if Rebecca said, I don't like the guy? Well, that's too bad. He's gonna do what he gotta do. You can not like him in your heart, but you're gonna have kids with him. He's gonna have sex with you when he wants to have sex with you. So what according to this system, that would be considered great, right? If Leah and Rachel did not like Jacob, well, that's too bad. It has nothing to do with the way you feel and think. See, that's the problem with you people out, you brothers in Israel. You've been in America too goddamn long. That's your goddamn problem. So when you come across this topic, emotions set in. So then you all of a sudden you don't know Hebrew, you don't know root words. What the hell is etymology? What is that all about? What is that, a sandwich? And so these guys that's coming against that, what we said. Oh, and by the way, uh Captain Zarak did a video, and he said, I'm not going to have any affiliation, if I'm saying that right, but certain words that get tongue twisted, with anybody that teaches this great thing. And he mentioned names, but he didn't mention GMS, which this whole thing really started with GMS back 10 years ago when Polite and Sonetic rolled up and he asked a question. That's what this whole thing came about. Now, he didn't mention our names, but he was thinking about us. Hey, you could have mentioned our names. You could have said GMS, because we wouldn't get offended. We wouldn't get, you could have mentioned our names, you know? You could have just as soon mentioned GMS. I don't Go ahead and mention it, because guess what? We're not ashamed of what we're saying because we studied it. You think we said it and we're going, and even though shit we found out that we were wrong, we're going to stick with it because of our pride? No, we went even deeper into it. If I was to do a full presentation on it, you would see it crystal clear. So I'm not ashamed of the scriptures speak about not being ashamed of the gospel. Guess what? That's part of the whole book is part of the gospel. So I'm not ashamed of what I said. So Captain Cesario, you can go ahead and say, well, GMS. It's not gonna make me feel any other way, you know. So, you know, you should have said our name. You know, we like to be we like to be called the bad guys. So that's just out there for you and y'all out there. But anyway, so now it says virgin. Like I said, I read the word virgin. I already know the word is Batwala. Let's see if I'm correct. Bingo. Bathwala. Bathwala. That means a young girl that has never been touched. And for that matter, she could be an old woman that never, if a 25-year-old woman never had sex, she would be a Bathwala. She would no longer be a I Iwalama, I Lama, which is a young woman of marriageable age. They, matter of fact, they call them old maids. So when Isaac went in unto Rebecca, that was the first time she ever got touched by a man. So now let's go from here to Isaiah 7:14. This is the topic of the week, y'all. And I'm going to do another video on how do we know that the Messiah is the Messiah? How do we know that Yahushua or Jesus is the actual Messiah that was prophesied? I'm going to do a video on that. Certain things had to happen to prove that he was the Messiah. Number one, he couldn't be a woman. Number two, he couldn't be the second or the third son. Number three, he couldn't be born anywhere outside of Bethlehem. Number five, which would be number one, he had to come from the direct lineage of King David. The vocab, well, see, a woman could have their own seed too. Yes, if a man puts a seed in her, or they have sperm banks. Did they have sperm banks back there, vocab? This is why it's a complete waste of time debating this guy vocab Malone. It says, therefore, the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Virgin. I know that that's not Bathwala, but it's Ailama, or what is it? Alma. They'll say Alma right here, Alma, and it means young in the feminine sense. Okay, what's the difference between Ayalama, Ailam, and Ailama? Ailam, like you have the nation called Elam, which was one of the sons of Shem. Elam was one of the sons, the five sons. So now this means, let's look it up. Virgin young woman of marriageable age, maid or newly married. Now she could have had a toddler and a bun in the oven. She still considered, just like Captain Tazarek said, she's still considered a virgin, but she's not a Bathwala. She's a Ai Lama. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.